Oh, good lord. There is so much going on here. I am going to try to squeeze everything down into like maybe 10 or 12 minutes at most. Okay, so bear with me. Okay, so we're going to start off with the new features. There are some things that are going to be really good for you. There are some things that is going to make you very frustrated, especially for me. I feel frustrated about one specific thing. Okay, so let's start. Now, this is a great thing, okay? New features added the Relic Reset feature. This is exactly what you guys wanted. Players can enter this panel from the Relic Enhancement screen. So basically, you can use reset stones to reset your Relic secondary attributes. And you can only reset a Relic with 4 secondary attributes, which means that not only can you reset your Flawless Relics, but you can reset any Relic upgraded to have at least 4 secondary attributes. Now, the thing is, when resetting a boosted Relic, each secondary attribute's enhancement times will be randomly allocated based on the total times it has been enhanced. So this makes it a little bit more interesting. So the thing is, if you do not boost your relics with your Desert Lens boost stones, right, what would technically happen is that you have a greater chance of obtaining crit rate, crit damage, accuracy, resistance, all those stuff, as opposed to if you already had a relic that was already boosted, because you cannot boost those stats to begin with. So what I'm thinking is, if you really want to chase your crit rate, if you really want to chase your crit damage, what you can do is to use this Relic Reset feature on a relic that has not been boosted yet. This is what I feel that's going to happen over here. Now, next we have the VR Battlegrounds, which is basically just a practice stage. You can, test out your team, test out whatever, right? So I think this is pretty good. It at least gives you a venue to practice against specific comps, for example. I think this is exactly what it's trying to set out to do. And then there are some new additional Union Academy, which I think teaches you a little bit more about the game. And we're going to skip a lot of stuff. And now we have this R Pass, which is kind of similar to the M Pass, I think, because they have this relationship between the R coin and the R Pass and the M coin and the M Pass. So we have yet to see what this is all about. Hopefully this will not be an entirely pay to win thing. Hopefully, some of the free players can actually obtain something from this battle pass. Now, new event, Origami Love. Okay, so some of you guys have actually asked me to cover this. So basically, it's kind of like a side story as with like the Ahmed event, right? So it's just going to be a side story. It's not going to be a main thing, unlike the current Zora banner where you have like the billboard and all that. This is not going to happen. So from what I see over here, it's going to be the exact same thing. There is going to be the AFK part over here, which is Search of Inspiration. There is going to be like, the treasure boxes and all that. And the Mystery Trader, which of course resets your relics. Okay, then after that, there is the Ophelia Chance Up event. It's basically the same as the previous one, which is Zora. It's exactly the same as Zora. There is no improvements to the rates at all, which might be quite unsettling for some of you guys. Now next, we have this Esper Feud event, which I'm not exactly sure what this is about. So there is like this event where there are 3 different areas that are based on difficulty. So they increased from normal to hard to purgatory. And there are some battle rules. I'm not exactly sure what these battle rules are. We are probably going to take a look at it when the event drops. And as the difficulty increases, new rules will be added. Whatever that means, right? But the main thing for me is going to be the relic customization over here. So players can customize 2 flawless 6-star relics during this event. Now, players can select the type, the position, the main attribute of a relic, and use Relic Redixes to refresh its secondary attributes. Now, you can definitely pay to win by using Nexus Crystals, but your free Redixes will be consumed first. So that's kind of all I know from this, unless I'm really dumb and I don't see exactly what this is about. And then next we have the Rewind event, which is also something that a lot of you guys requested. You want something to reset your Espers because, AFK Arena had that, right? So this is how you can reset your Espers from fully built to 0, but there is one catch. So this is the main important point. Resonance and ability levels cannot be rewound or rewound. This is the important one, right? So you're not going to be able to get back your legendary Abilimon if you're going to use this on whatever Esper that you have decided to use it on. Like for example, most of you guys are probably thinking of your Liling right now, but unfortunately that's not going to be possible. Now moving on to the adjustments and optimizations. I'm just going to skip most of it. So some of the main things to talk about is that Holobattles now extends to 30 members, which means your entire club can participate. And basically, the more participants, the more rewards you guys get. So definitely try to use all your Holobattle entries. As long as you guys use your Holobattle tickets, the entire club gets additional rewards. So do take note of that. It's very important for at least 25 of you guys to participate. Now this next part is something that completely makes me very frustrated. This makes me super frustrated with the game right now. So there is a relic change. So basically Astral Witchcraft, the current relics that you have of Astral Witchcraft will no longer be available. You are still going to have it. It's going to just be called Divine Blessing. But the thing is you cannot obtain them anymore. So do not sell your Astral Witchcraft. Okay? Do not sell any of them right now. You will never ever get them back ever again. So this is your last chance to have the Astral Witchcraft set effect. So from now till the patch drops, go ahead and grind Chronos as much as you can and try to obtain as many of these Astral Witchcraft sets as much as possible. They may become quite relevant in the future, right? Who knows? They may actually become very relevant as they are with like Sally's, Laura's, and basically some of the other tanky support Espers. But this is the part that upsets me so much. So now they have added an Astral Witchcraft set, which is a new one, which only drops from Fafnir, and it grants a 20% chance of taking another turn at the end of the wearer's turn. So it's basically your violent procs from Summoner's War. As if the game is not toxic enough, they decided to introduce violent procs into the game. I do not know why they've decided to do that, because even the counter procs right now are so broken with I think a 25% chance to counter. That is incredibly difficult to handle, and now you're telling me that you're adding even more RNG on top of all of that. Honestly, Ocean Waves was great, okay? Ocean Waves was a really good change to the Violence set. But now that they've decided to add it back again, I mean, I kind of understand you want players to farm Fafnir more, but this is not the way to do so. I don't agree with this. I feel like this is just going to tear the game apart. We have seen it happen before in Summoner's War. This is not a good change. So another change is that Snow Dowager is moving from Fafnir to Chronos, which totally don't make sense because Snow Dowager is something frosty, which is what Fafnir is, whereas Chronos is something a little bit hotter, so I don't understand the trade, but whatever, I'm just nitpicking at this point of time. And they've also increased the effect of Snow Dowager, so previously from 20% chance of freezing the target when taking damage, you now grant a 25% chance of freezing the target, which is even more powerful of course, but honestly this change was not necessary at all. Now moving on, this next change is kind of important to some of you guys who especially complain a lot about point war, right? So points given by victories are increased, making it easier to level up to the next tier. So if you're like me and you want to chase tier 16, this is going to be very helpful. So right now, if you do not buy refills, you're not actually able to climb tiers, which is a huge problem in my opinion, because you're climbing tier because you want to get more Nexus Crystals, but the thing is you need to spend Nexus Crystals to get there. It doesn't really make a lot of economical sense. Now, this is also another change. When fusing relics, which I've done 110 times, players can now select specific positions of a specific set to produce a relic of that position. I have completely missed this because I went to make a video about it. This pisses me off. Okay, this might be something important to some of the newer players. Multi-battle is now available in the report dimension, and then there are some new additional caps. So now you're no longer able to get level 15 1 and 2 star relics, right? Something like that. And now the black gold monthly card is a little bit more buffed. So instead of providing 150 Nexus Crystals, you now gain a gold record every single day. This is really huge for the spenders out there. And in the Desolate Lands, the calculation method for the lower the enemy's defense, the higher damage dealt, blah blah blah, based on the boss abilities, right? It has been adjusted. I think this is going to be more powerful. I feel like they're trying to push it to even more endgame, and they have realized that hey, it was actually a little bit too easy for a lot of people. So I believe this is a ramping up of their damage. Okay, and now we have quite a few Esper balance changes. I think we have like 5. Yeah, we do have 5 Espers, okay? So for you guys who have Tevor out there, congrats to Kovian. This is going to be very beneficial for you. So he has a rework in all of his skills, but it's kind of like just a reshuffle in most cases. So right now, instead of inflicting Nico Curse on his first skill, he's inflicting Seer on his first skill. And here's a change to his passive. So previously, if the target's HP is above 50%, you cast the same ability on the target again, right? That's like just a double hit. But if the target's HP is below 50%, you gain 1 Nico Sand stack. And previously, the Nico Sand stack actually reduces the damage you take, but now it's no longer there anymore. And instead, it is now replaced with this effect. So this ability can be triggered once per turn, gains 2 Nico Sand stacks at the start of combat. So you're always going to have 2 stacks at the start. And what does it do? We'll talk about it in just a bit. Now, this is the third skill, Nico Gift Box. So previously, attacks one enemy, deals 210% attack damage, inflicts Seer, right? The main thing was the Seer, but now the damage increases to 230% and you inflict Nico Curse instead. So previously, when stacks are max, resets all ability cooldowns and attacks the target twice the next turn, then removes all existing stacks. But now, each stack increases his crit damage by 15%, no longer protecting him by 15%, right? When stacks are max, resets all ability cooldowns and attacks the target twice again next turn, then you remove all existing stacks. So what I think is happening here is on turn 1, you are going to double hit because the enemy has more than 50% HP. But on turn 2, you are also going to double hit because you started off your turn 1 with 2 stacks. So this makes him a lot more relevant in my opinion. You're going to lay a lot of attacks at the start, right? Your first 2 turns are going to be golden. Now next we have Louis. I'm not very sure whether this is a buff or nerf. I think this is more of a buff in my opinion because you're going to use your second skill which lowers the enemy's HP, and then you use your third skill, right, which is what the change is over here. So previously 10% of your own max HP increases damage dealt by 6%. So if you lose 50% of your HP, your damage is increased by 30%. But now 10% of the enemy's max HP lost increases damage by 4%, which is less than before, but the thing is, at least now you have more control of how much damage you're going to do because you're going to use your second skill first, which immediately boosts your third skill's damage, right? So previously this doesn't actually do a lot for your third skill, but now this is at least more useful, but potentially with a smaller cap in damage. Now this I love to see, dude. Triki is going to be even more overpowered. It may be a good thing, it may be a bad thing. So previously each hit has a 75% chance of dispelling 1 buff from each enemy. Now each hit has a 100% chance of dispelling 1 buff from each enemy. This is a big change. With the Zeus Relic set, this is incredibly broken. If your first hit actually manages to strip because you have good accuracy, damn, you have a lot of chance to land your stuns, right? Now next, a change to Kara. Okay, now this is a good change. So previously, they kind of screwed her up a little bit by giving her this brand new effect. Back then, this was a brand new effect. So if the target is already poisoned, you increase the poison duration by 1 turn. Who cares? But now upon successful poisoning, inflicts poison for another 1 turn. So you're going to stack a lot of poison this way. Can only be triggered once on each target per turn. So at least this gives her a little bit more of an output. So she's gonna be able to land a lot of poisons like that, which is slightly better for her kit. Now Lynn, this is definitely a buff. I mean, there is no way around it, right? She now gains Seer on her 3rd skill, which is quite powerful, and this might make her more relevant for Fafnir, even though she's already super relevant for Fafnir. But now I'm thinking, man, if she has Seer, she's gonna be quite useful for APEP as well. I think she can be quite good for APEP. So yeah, this is definitely something that I might want to consider looking into. But anyway, that is it for all the changes, man. There is a lot of stuff, right? There is the good and there is the bad, but I do feel like most of it is good. Most of it is pushing towards making RNG a little bit less of a problem for you guys by, you know, giving like relic resets and completely removing Astral Witchcraft, which is great for some of you guys. And among that, there is also a lot of different changes, right? I mean, even the new Espers themselves, they are so juicy, so interesting to obtain, and I can't wait to start summoning next week. So yeah, do take note that this new event will drop on the regular day, right? On regular Tuesdays, basically on server reset on Tuesdays. My apologies, it's not server reset. Okay, you can refer to the timing over here. It is always going to be the regular timing. So 7 AM UTC plus 0. But anyway, let me know down in the comments what you feel about the patch notes. There is definitely going to be a mixed review about this. Or at least maybe it's just me, right? Maybe you guys love it. Maybe you guys think that, you know, the violent procs are going to be really good for this game. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video.